Today we're going to take a look at this SOG or SOG Pro 28 liter backpack. Alright, so let's take a look at this here SOG or SOG, however you like to pronounce that. This is their Pro 28 liter backpack, which I can only seem to find at Walmart. It's not on the SOG website. I haven't seen it on Amazon, but you will probably see it in your local stores, and if not, it is online. And this thing goes for around $35. Seems to be that price all across the board. And so far, it's been a pretty good backpack for me, actually. I've loaded this baby down with, I actually weighed it with 20 pounds worth of junk and, carried it around for several days that way, and no issues with the grab handle or the shoulder straps. So very cool. Let's get into it. So you have a slip pocket up front with no Velcro to hold it down, just a regular slip pocket that goes all the way to the bottom. You do have your Velcro field here for your morale patches or designators, whatever you like to use, name tapes, etc. But they did go and stitch really well around the Velcro here, so you don't have the tabs, the hard plastic of the Velcro sticking up. I really like that. That's a nice touch. And then we do have a large main pocket here, of course, as with most backpacks. And it does have some organization, but not a ton, and that's okay. I kind of like it that way. You do have a big slip pocket here. It doesn't go all the way down. It does only go to about there. And you do have a little tab here for, your keys or whatever you would like to hang from that. And then we do have a mesh zipper pocket here. And like I said, this is a polyester material on the exterior, but they didn't specify anything else about it. Now your zipper pocket here does come down, I'd say about 6 inches to about right in there. See if we can get that to where you can see. About like that, so pretty spacious. Now they're not unbranded. There is a branding mark on it, however, I'm not familiar with it, and they're definitely not YKK zips, but they have held up really well. Hot out here. Hot. Hopefully this will be my last day of hot. And then we do have another zip pocket up here, which does have a soft and not quite padded, but a soft inside, probably for your sunglasses or, electronics, things of that nature. But this pocket is actually quite a bit bigger than most of your glasses pockets are. So very spacious there. You could easily fit a cell phone or a radio, GPS, any of that kind of stuff. Honestly, my night vision would probably fit in there, so that's pretty cool. And then before we go to the main pocket, we'll finish off the exterior. It does have slip bottle pockets, which have a stretchy kind of material. Not sure exactly what to call it, but it is also pretty spacious. It'll definitely hold all of your standard size water bottles. Also, it'll fit grails or your single wall stainless steel bottles, like the Pathfinder, Corporal's Corner, etc., etc. It will not take the large 64 ounce bottles, though. Those they will not fit. And then here we have our grab handle, which has been doubled over, and it's nice and sturdy. And then of course on the back we have the 3D spacer mesh to help with sweat and airflow when it's hot. Our straps they're padded, but they're not super thick padded, which is fine because you're not going to carry a ton of weight in this pack here. We do have the adjustable sternum strap, which is nice. It does also have the whistle buckle, which that's pretty cool. You do have your buckles here to break away, and also your elastic keepers for your webbing here, once you get it set to your length that you want, you can roll that up and stow it underneath this just to keep it from running everywhere. And the bottom is just that same polyester material. Then we'll go ahead and go to the main, which, just for presentation purposes, there was a pair of jeans in there, and then a full-size whoopee in there, which, you know, isn't folded down tight or anything, and there was still a ton of room in there. So once you get into that, you have your large back pocket here with your hydration hanger, and then you have two smaller divided pockets here. Then on the inside, it has that same kind of sticky material that is actually intended to put your like pouches that have a Velcro or, you know, a hook back, that kind of thing. So that way, you know, whatever you want pouch wise will be sitting right here, right at the top. So very nice there, and a nice spacious pack. And the way it's cut, it does ride very well, because it's not exactly a flat bottom, it's kind of rounded a little bit, and it does ride very well that way. And one important note, I think, this is actually made in Indonesia instead of China, so that's a plus for me. The zippers are all nice and smooth, they operate smooth. You do also have a port here for your hydration bladder, or, you know, if you had a radio or something in here, you could also poke an antenna through if you needed to. And one other neat feature on this pack, which a lot of packs have these days, I think, but it does have your hidden pocket in the back that is also lined with that same Velcro material. And I've got a piece of Velcro in here, which, see how well that sticks, you know, I mean, I'm not pushing it on there hard at all. So that material works extremely well. And it does have the zipper on both sides. And all the zippers have pulls, which you can see, I mean, if I can keep it in my hand, you know, they're good and smooth. I don't think anybody would have an issue with them really wearing out, I mean, unless you're just super hard on it. And they've also done some reinforcement bar tacking here on the straps, which is great, because like I said, I ran solid 20 pounds, like exactly on the scale, like I said, for several days, you know, in and out of the car and here and there, and, you know, nothing pulled out, nothing popped loose. The shoulder pads are in place, you know, and the grab handle is also, you know, still good to go. With that much weight in it, it kind of looked like it might give way, like, I shouldn't say give way, would look like it may have been stressing it, and it wasn't, though. I mean, it held up. Now, I mean, if you loaded it out to the max and threw it around real hard, would it, you know, last you forever? Maybe, maybe not, you know. I mean, everybody's use will vary, of course, but as far as I'm concerned, you know, for a $35 in-store pickup, this is probably one of the better backpacks that they've had. Me personally, I've never had any of the more expensive Ozark Trail backpacks, but they're definitely stepping their game up. So I don't know if I would say it's better than those just because I don't have experience with those, but with my experience so far, I do really like this pack. I like the kind of mustard yellow, I wouldn't quite call tan, like say more of a rusted, you know, like a rust color or mustard yellow, whatever you choose to call it. Let me know in the comments what you would call this color. But otherwise, like I say, great pack so far. I'll update, of course, if anything should change, but just a pretty good looking pack though, I think, all around. And I think SOG or SOG, whatever you want to call it, did a really good job. You know, we got box X stitching there on the bottom, and like I said, this is adjustable, so it does slide up and down, you know, so you can adjust it to you personally. But that was the SOG Pro 28 liter backpack. And if you have any questions or comments, throw it down below and I'll try to answer them if I can. And also, my analytics claim that 95% of my viewers are not subscribed. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe, hit the like, share it with somebody you know. And with that, we will see you in the next one.